out! Are you okay, ma'am?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank God.
The rain had just stopped when Madame Evelyn Sterling, one of the most powerful female CEOs in the country, walked into the crowded city market wearing an old faded dress, worn-out slippers, and a cheap scarf covering her expensive hair. Nobody looking at her would have guessed that she owned one of the biggest companies in the country. But Evelyn had a secret mission. She was looking for a wife for her only son, Alexander Sterling. Alexander was handsome, wealthy, intelligent, and completely uninterested in marriage. Every woman his mother introduced to him seemed more interested in his money than in him. So Evelyn decided to test them herself. If they cannot respect a poor woman, she thought, how will they treat my son when his money is no longer enough? She walked through the market pretending to be confused and helpless. Then she approached a group of beautifully dressed young women who had just stepped out of an expensive SUV. "Excuse me," Evelyn said softly. "Please, can you help me? I have been standing here for hours."
Excuse me, please, can you help me? I have been standing here for hours. I just need enough money to buy some food for my grandson. Are you serious? Begging from us? How pathetic. Get a job.
"I just need enough money to buy some food for my grandson." The women looked at her from head to toe. One of them laughed.
Madam, go and ask someone else. You people are always begging. Can't you work? If you want money, go and find a rich man. Maybe he will marry you.
"Go and ask someone else." Another covered her nose dramatically. "You people are always begging. Can't you work?" A third girl laughed. "If you want money, go and find a rich man. Maybe he will marry you." They all laughed as they walked away. Evelyn stood silently. Her eyes hardened. They had failed her test. But she wasn't finished. Later that afternoon, she approached another group of wealthy young women. Again, she pretended to need help. This time, one of them pushed her hand away. "Don't touch me with those dirty hands." Evelyn swallowed her anger. She was about to walk away when suddenly, honk! A speeding car lost control on the wet road. It came dangerously close to Evelyn. The car hit a large puddle beside the road, sending a huge wave of dirty water toward her. Before Evelyn could react,
Watch out! Are you okay, ma'am?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank God.
"Watch out!" A young woman suddenly ran toward her. She grabbed Evelyn and pulled her away. Splash! The dirty water covered the young woman from head to toe. Her clothes were ruined. Her handbag fell into the mud. For a few seconds, Evelyn simply stared at her. The girl looked exhausted but immediately turned to Evelyn. "Are you okay, Ma?" Evelyn nodded. "Yes, I'm fine." The young woman smiled. "Thank God." She picked up her muddy handbag and looked at her phone. Her face suddenly changed. "Oh no," Evelyn asked. "What happened?" "I have a job interview in 20 minutes." She looked down at her ruined clothes. "This is my only clean outfit." Evelyn studied her carefully. "What company?" The girl hesitated. "Sterling Global." Evelyn almost smiled. "Her company. What is your name?" she asked. "Amara." "And what position are you interviewing for?" "Personal assistant trainee." Evelyn nodded slowly. "Go to your interview." Amara laughed nervously. "Looking like this?" "You saved a stranger today," Evelyn replied. "Maybe today will save you too." Amara thanked her and hurried away. Evelyn watched her disappear into the crowd. For the first time that day, she smiled. "Finally," she whispered, "someone with a good heart." The next morning, Amara arrived at Sterling Global. She stood nervously outside the massive glass building. Everyone around her looked polished and wealthy. She looked at her simple dress and cheap shoes. "I probably won't get this job," she whispered. Then the elevator doors opened. A group of executives stepped out, and behind them was Evelyn Sterling. But this time, she wasn't wearing old clothes. She was dressed in a stunning designer suit. The entire building immediately became silent. Amara's eyes widened. "Mayu." Evelyn smiled.
The
"Yes,
CEO.
Amara."
You
Amara
were
froze.
pretending to be poor?
The CEO. Amara's mouth dropped open. She suddenly remembered the woman she had rescued at the market. "You were pretending to be poor?" Evelyn nodded. "I was looking for something money cannot buy." "What?" "A woman with a good heart." That same evening, Evelyn called her son. "Alexander, come home tonight." "I have a board meeting, Mom." "Cancel it." Alexander sighed. "Why?" "I found your wife." There was silence on the phone. "Mom, please don't start again." Evelyn smiled. "This time I'm serious." When Alexander arrived at the mansion, he was shocked to see Amara sitting in the living room. She immediately stood up. "Good evening, sir." Alexander stared at her. He knew her. She was the young woman who had been hired that morning. "What is she doing here?" Evelyn smiled. "She saved my life yesterday." Alexander frowned. And she is the woman I want you to marry." Alexander almost laughed. "Mom, you cannot be serious." Evelyn looked at him firmly. "You have spent your whole life surrounded by women who love your bank account." She pointed toward Amara. "Yesterday, this girl didn't know who I was. She had nothing to gain from helping me." Alexander looked at Amara. She lowered her eyes. Evelyn continued. "She had an interview to attend. Her clothes were ruined because she saved a poor woman she thought was a stranger." Alexander slowly looked at his mother. "So you tested all those women?" "Yes. And she passed." Evelyn smiled. She didn't even know there was a test. Alexander looked at Amara again. For the first time, something in his cold expression changed. But neither of them knew that their meeting was only the beginning. Because Alexander had a secret of his own, and when Amara discovered it, their lives would never be the same again. 3 months had passed since the day Alexander first met Amara. What started as an arrangement, made by his mother, had slowly become something neither of them expected. Alexander
This garden is magical tonight.
It is, especially with you.
I love you.
I love you too.
who once believed love was a weakness, now found himself looking for excuses to see Amara. Sometimes, he would simply sit beside her in silence. And Amara had fallen just as deeply. One evening, Alexander held her hand as they walked through the mansion garden. "I don't know what you did to me," he said. Amara smiled. "Maybe your mother was right." "About what?" "That you needed a good woman." Alexander laughed. "I think I needed you." Amara's cheeks turned red. But just as they were about to kiss, a car pulled into the mansion. Alexander's smile disappeared. His mother looked toward the gate. A beautiful woman stepped out of the car wearing designer clothes and dark sunglasses. Tina, Alexander's ex-girlfriend. She walked into the mansion as if she still owned it. "Alexander." He stared at her. "What are you doing here?" Tina smiled. "I heard you're getting married." She looked at Amara. Her smile disappeared. "And this is the girl?" Amara politely greeted her. "Hello." Tina ignored her. She walked straight toward Alexander. "I came because I still love you." Alexander shook his head. "Tina, our relationship ended years ago." "Not for me." She turned toward Amara. "You really think you can marry Alexander?" Amara remained calm. "I don't want to fight with you." Tina smiled coldly. "You won't have to." Then she walked away. But the moment she entered her guest room, her expression changed. She opened her suitcase. Inside was a small velvet box filled with expensive jewelry. She smiled
This
wickedly.
will do perfectly.
"If I can't have Alexander," she whispered,
I'll
"then
hide it
nobody
in their
will."
bag.
The next morning, Tina deliberately left her
framed.
jewelry box in her room. Then she waited until Amara passed by. "Amara." Amara turned. "Yes. Could you help me bring my jewelry box downstairs? I have an appointment." "Of course." Amara entered the room and picked up the box. Tina secretly watched from the hallway. But there was something Amara didn't know. Tina had already hidden another piece of jewelry inside Amara's handbag. Later that evening, Tina began screaming, "My jewelry!" Everyone rushed into the room. "My diamond necklace is gone." Alexander's mother looked shocked. "What?" Tina pointed directly at Amara. "She stole it." Amara's eyes widened. "Me? I saw you entering my room. I only carried your jewelry box downstairs." Tina began crying. "That necklace is worth millions. Who else could have taken it?" Alexander immediately stepped between them. "Enough." Tina looked at him. "Search her things." Amara was trembling.
How did this necklace get in your bag?
I don't know. It's not mine.
Don't lie to me. I found it.
Let's all just calm down.
I'm telling the truth.
"I didn't steal anything." A maid searched Amara's handbag. Suddenly, she pulled out a diamond necklace. Everyone gasped. Tina smiled secretly. "There it is." Amara stared at the necklace in disbelief. "I have never seen that before." Alexander looked at her. "Amara, tell me the truth." Tears filled her eyes. "I swear I didn't steal it." Tina stepped closer. "You should be ashamed of yourself." But then the oldest maid in the mansion, Mrs. Grace, stepped forward. "Wait." Everyone turned. Mrs. Grace looked at Tina. "I saw something." Tina's face changed. "What?" Mrs. Grace continued. I saw you enter Amara's room this afternoon. Tina froze. I. I was looking for something. Mrs. Grace shook her head. No, you were holding something. Alexander's eyes narrowed. What did she have? A small velvet box. Tina suddenly became nervous. Mrs. Grace continued. And I saw her put something inside Amara's handbag. Silence filled the room. Tina's face went pale. Alexander immediately ordered the security team to check the mansion cameras. Minutes later, the footage appeared on the television. Everyone watched. There was Tina, entering Amara's room, opening her handbag, putting the necklace inside. The room went silent. Tina began shaking. Alexander turned toward her. You framed her. Tina started crying. I did it because I love you. You don't love me, Alexander said coldly. You want what I have. Tina fell to her knees. Please, Alexander. But he turned away. My relationship with you ended a long time ago. He looked at Amara. I believe you. Amara burst into tears. Alexander pulled her into his arms. I will never let anyone hurt you again. The wedding. After Tina was removed from their lives, Alexander and Amara became even closer. His mother finally gave them her blessing. 1 month later, the mansion was transformed into a breathtaking wedding venue.
Every step I take, I'm closer to you. In your eyes, I see forever. Our love will always be true. Hand in hand, me and you.
Amara walked down the aisle in a beautiful white wedding gown. Alexander couldn't take his eyes off her. When she reached him, he whispered, You're the best thing that ever happened to me. She smiled through tears. And you're the man I never expected to love. The priest smiled.
Do you take this woman to be your wife? I do. Do you take this man to be your husband?
I do.
Do you take each other as husband
You
and
may
wife?
now kiss the bride.
Alexander answered immediately. I do. Amara smiled. I do. You may kiss the bride. Alexander
you
gently
too.
kissed her. The entire room erupted in applause. Evelyn watched proudly. She had entered the market, searching for a woman who could love her son without knowing his wealth. And she had found exactly that. Not in a mansion, not at an expensive party, not among the wealthy women who had mocked her, but in a muddy market, where a simple young woman risked ruining her only good clothes to help a stranger. As fireworks filled the night sky, Alexander held his new wife close. You know something? He whispered. What? If my mother hadn't disguised herself that day, I might never have met you. Amara laughed. Then I guess I should thank your mother. From across the room, Evelyn smiled. She had found her son's wife. But more importantly, she had found the daughter she never knew she needed. And as the newlyweds danced beneath the lights, nobody noticed the mysterious woman standing outside the mansion gate. Watching them, she slowly removed her sunglasses. It was Tina, and she was not smiling. This isn't over.